Hello everybody and welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. That was a weird intro, but we're here. Yeah, it's not my normal cadence there, but it's fine. You know, it's good to mix it up sometimes, you know, keep people on their toes. Also, I'm still like getting goldfish crumbs out of my teeth because, like I promised, I ate some goldfish between this episode and the last. And I mean, this episode and the last one of Mario Maker, not the last episode, because that's gonna be Hextech Mayhem, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, surprise. I guess it's not a surprise to anyone, but when I was talking about the game, a game that I was going to be playing, or switching Minecraft out for, I was talking about Hextech Mayhem. That's a fun game so far. I haven't played all of it yet, but so far I've been having fun. I was not expecting a rhythm game. I thought it was a platformer, and it kind of is. I would call it a rhythm platformer, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Music good, which is good. You know, it's the main thing you want in a rhythm game. It's good music. Okay, cool. That is twice that the big Magic Koopa appeared and hit me. Just kind of appeared on top of me. Yeah, anyway, I like Hextech Mayhem. Yeah. Like, I didn't get too attached to the Bit Trip Runner games when I played them. But I had a decent amount of fun. The biggest issue I have with those style of games, though, is that it just feels like there's too much happening. There's too much on screen at once, and that was kind of my biggest complaint to my friend when he had me play the Bit Trip Runner games. It's like I can't really read this. There's a lot happening in the foreground, there's stuff happening in the background, and there's prompts I need to follow, but I also need to know where my character is, but also I need to be listening to the music, and it's awkward. It's awkward, right? It's kind of like if you've ever played Guitar Hero or Rock Band, and except you try to play it while paying attention to the background, like, because you know they have those scenes of like your character playing on the guitar or whatever. Like if you're paying attention to the background while playing, it makes it a lot harder. And that's my biggest issue with Hextech Mayhem and the Bit Trip Runner games. It's not a big thing, right? It's ultimately, I think it is a personal thing. Because I feel like there are plenty of people out there who have no trouble keeping track of everything. I mean, of course there's always someone who's really good at the thing that you're bad at. And that's one thing the internet has taught us, is that there's always someone better than you. Yeah, isn't that a blow to the ego? Particularly for people like me who didn't really grow up with the internet as much. Like, the internet kind of mostly became a thing when I was a teenager, so it's so you grow up being like, oh yeah, I'm really good at this thing. This is a thing that I'm good at, and you know, maybe I'm one of the best. And then you find out, you know, come internet age, like, oh yeah, there's a 6-year-old Chinese girl who's better than me at that. Oh. And it just really takes you down a notch, right? Like, it makes it a lot harder. For me personally, it makes it a lot harder for me to shoot to be the best at anything, because I know what that looks like. I know just how far I have to go to get there. And I look at that and I'm like, huh, yeah. like back in the day, it wasn't so uncommon for, you know, a kid from some podunk town in the middle of nowhere to be like, yeah, I want to be the best NFL player in the world, and that's what I'm gonna do for a living. You know, I'm gonna be the best quarterback ever or whatever. And that's a great idea. That's a fine plan. You know, it's good to have dreams. But I guess actually this is kind of a bad example because you can see, even back in the day, you could see what the best quarterback looks like. Of the time, of course. Okay, maybe I should choose something a little more niche. Okay, maybe like, oh, I'm gonna be the best wood carver in the world, right? It's like, it's not a super prestigious thing, but it is something that you might think, like if you've already taken up an interest in wood carving, you'd be like, oh man, if I just get really good at this, I'll be the best, right? And back in the day, yeah, that's actually kind of achievable because there's a good chance you'll never meet the person or never even see the person who's better than you. But now, you literally just have to look up wood carving videos on YouTube to find like, oh yeah, this person is so much better than I am, even though I've been, you know, busting my ass trying to be the best I can be. And it's a little bit demoralizing. I will say that. It's so honestly, I will say, props to anyone who is shooting to be the best. If you do have a passion and you're like, I'm gonna be the best at this thing, and you just keep at it and you keep going, props. Cause I don't think I can do that. It's just far too obvious to me the difference between me and the distance between me and whoever's the best. Even the things that I am best at, which are basically, as far as I know, again, by my own calculation, the things that I'm best at are probably scholastics, which is, it's pretty, and we've kind of already proven that I'm not the best at that. And let's maybe Smash, but then that's another one where I was pretty easily humbled. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I'm especially good at. But see, that's the thing, is had I never been humbled by people better than me, of course I would say, like, oh yeah, I am good at these things. And that's the thing, that's the other part of it, is even just feeling like you're good at something is kind of an accomplishment, because that sort of thing, like, because it's so easy to just see that, oh, here's someone it's so easy to find someone who's better than you, right? It's perhaps far too easy. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, lost one. It's fine. Ow, lost my shroom. Okay. Okay, almost got crushed there. Oh god, I can't do anything about the blocks now. Kill some of these guys. Okay, I died because I did not land on top of the cannon. That's unfortunate. I think that's the farthest I've gotten. Yeah, just to say you're the best at anything, you know, that's crazy. That's crazy, and that's kind of why I've adopted this attitude of like, okay, I'm not shooting to be the best, I'm just shooting to be better than I've been. Because I feel like that's what you have to do. Like, even if your goal is to become the best, I feel like that's what you have to do, because until you are the best, there's always going to be someone better than you. And if you have this idea of like, oh, If you look at them and you're like, oh, they're better than me, I'm not the best, that's going to do one of two things. That's either going to be like, okay, well, I need to get better. That's one thought you could have. Or you're going to be like, I still have to do more to beat this guy? There's no way, right? It's either going to motivate you or demotivate you. And in my case, I think it's a demotivator. It's to be like, all right, I can't beat this person. Like, I don't have the time or energy or whatever, or just talent. I hate that word, but I saved it and then I lost it and then I lost it again. Wow. All right. Anyway, yeah, I guess I don't like the word talent because I feel like it's misused a lot. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I get to a point where I'm like, I don't have the time, energy, or talent to actually be the best at this. So what I tell myself is, okay, I just need to be better than I was, right? And that's enough for me. As long as I am improving, then I'm okay with that. But even that has its own problems, right? Because it can be hard to tell if you're improving sometimes. Thought I was going to land on the cannon and not the spring. All right, it's fine. It can be hard to tell. Like, for instance, if you just look at a single run of this level that I'm doing, the fact that I didn't make it as far that run as I've made it in my farthest run, if you're focusing solely on that, then you can be like, oh, you actually got worse. But no, it's not the case. Yeah, it's a strange thing. It's a strange thing. But you get to a certain point, and it's kind of a documented fact that once you get a certain amount of skill at something, it becomes harder and harder to tell when you're getting better at it. And it's all about percentages, really. Right? If you're going from, say, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're going from, skill level 1 to skill level 2, that's 100% improvement. That's really good. Right? It's easy to tell, right? You've gone from basically not being able to do anything at all to you could do some stuff, right? And that's something that you can pretty easily tell. Whereas going from an 8 to a 9, that's like what, 12% improvement, which is still actually pretty good. But it's not going to be quite as obvious as a 1 to a 10 or 1 to a 2. Even though both of them are it's the same amount of improvement each time, but it feels like less because in comparison to what you can do overall, it's not as much. Right? You're not adding as much percentage-wise. Yeah. And that's part of the reason that I don't really grind at things much. I mean, clearly I'm grinding this right now, but I'm having to distract myself to do it. Right? Talking about other things is what's keeping me from giving up on this. But yeah, that's something I do. I go, all right, I get to a certain point, and then when I feel like I'm not getting better at it anymore, if I just leave it up to myself, then oftentimes I'll just be like, okay, I'm done, right? Like this happened with my Mega Man X speedruns, where initially I was making like 10, 20 minutes on my first couple runs. I was getting 10 or 20 minutes worth of improvement out of each run, and then it dropped to like 5 minutes, and then 3 minutes, 2 minutes, And then I wasn't consistently getting any sort of improvement on my time. And I was like, okay, well. And then my enthusiasm for it diminished. Again, it's one of those things where it probably didn't help that I was kind of doing it in isolation. Like I wasn't streaming it or anything. Which, hey, by the way, I will probably do at least a Mega Man X stream, speedrun stream, because I do want to get to at least 45 minutes. I do want to get my PB there. But hey, maybe I'll get my PB there next time. Because as for this episode, that's a wrap. We'll get there.